Welcome to this little stream. A little bit different today because I want to run through the first year of PlayStation VR games and what stand out for me. It's not necessarily my best of. It's kind of games that, for me, I've really enjoyed on the PlayStation VR. And that have captured some of my imagination, and I've gone, yeah, I really like that. But we're going to start from the start for me, and you know, there's a lot of games that people have noticed and seen, and everything else that's happened with PlayStation VR and different things that I might pull up that you may not agree with. The first game that actually really captured my attention for where have I put it actually? I've done something. Cool. I forgot to put the thing. Oh no, I don't have one for that. That's why. The first game I'm actually pulling up, I don't have a special screen, because you notice sometimes I have special screens to the sides for the VR thing. Well, the first game that actually sold me on the PlayStation was one game in particular, which is around here somewhere. There it is. Rigs. Which, at the moment, if you have a PSVR, or if you're planning on getting a PSVR, and you already have a PlayStation Plus account, download this. Get it in your library, because this is the game that first sold me on getting a PlayStation VR. I saw this and was like, wow, I want to do that. I really want to do that. Now, that was when I didn't have a PlayStation VR before it was released, and I hadn't tried more modern VR out. The only VR that I had done was way back in the mid to late 90s, where you had the virtual reality, well, it was called Virtuality, arcade machines that was in some of the bigger arcades here, and they're a world apart from the VR that we have now. But when I saw Rigs, it prompted me to go, how am I going to handle VR now? So I went out and I got myself Gear VR that would go along with my phone, so that I could try out a little bit more modern VR, get used to it again, before the PlayStation VR came out, to really make the decision of, am I going to buy it? But I saw Rigs and was sort of like, yes. So we're going to step straight into Rigs. And this is the thing here. Okay, I'm going to put this Don headset. Nope. Okay. Cool. I need some sound. Sound is good. You shall be able to ask me some questions. My chat bot is actually off at the moment. I'm going to press resume, so if you want to ask any questions, then please feel free, anybody who's watching live. If you're not watching live, then please feel free to comment down below, ask any questions you like about any of the games I'm showing. I'll try and answer the different things, but this game right here is the one that first sold me on getting a PlayStation VR. And the reason that it first sold me is I saw these things like this that you get strapped into and you go around an arena battling each other. Now, I'm going to take you straight, just do a quick test with this. There's a bit of a sad story as well behind this game. And that is that, though it's brilliant, it's not actually fully complete, because there was a lot of DLC that was planned. You can see this rig that's in front of us here is a part of this APX lot. Now, there's a few that was being released, and you can see that one, and then this has got performance testing. Now, the studio that made this was Gorilla Cambridge. Now, Gorilla, of course, is very famous for a couple of other games at the moment. Why can't I remember the name? Oh, I've totally forgotten the name of their other game, but Gorilla Cambridge was responsible for rigs. And they had some plans to finish this DLC. There's 4 sets of things that are missing. And that's because the studio was shut down before they could finish it. And they was pulling one of these out a week. So 4 weeks, and this game would have been nicely wrapped up. But it was denied that, and I find that's very, very sad, because it's a game that I do actually really like. But I'm going to show you a little bit on this, and I'm going to go over why I think it deserves attention, and also why I think they closed down the studio and why it wasn't deemed as a big success. The first thing being that it's motion. It's filled with motion. This game has so much motion, it's unbelievable. You can have you've got head tracking in it. You can have head tracking motion. You can have motion that's based on the sticks. I've got the alternative motion thing on here at the moment, so I can use the sticks. Now, I don't usually normally use the sticks like that. I just wanted to do this stick motion so that you can see something else in here. The graphical detail. I mean, you move, your body moves, the weapons all moves, there's reflection surfaces across everything. Everything looks as pin sharp as it can be. All of the text, no matter how far away from it I am, I can make out and read properly, like it's there in real life. You know, you can see way off into these spectacular distances, and it all looks good. And it's like, you know, it's amazing. Now, the thing that really used to get a lot of people is the head-tracked motion. So, in terms of the game, the controls, you have this method with the stick, which is not how I play it. I don't play it like that. I play it on head turning. And a lot of people couldn't take it, because you had, like, that type of thing going on. Which is, for me, much better. But that's only just me. Not everybody would definitely agree with me on that one. So, it's a case of personal preference. And you can see how the motion in this game is, like, it's fast-paced. It's not slow, especially in these rigs here. I've missed something. I missed one of them. Yeah? It's pretty damn amazing what you can do in this game. So this is the first game that actually tempted me to buy PlayStation VR. Okay, we're going to come out of the test arena. I'm going to go into give you a quick tour of everything else this game has going. I'm not going to play an online game at the moment. I'm going to play versus the I'm going to play it versus the AI. So this game has some pretty good AI as well. So that's test arena, just for you to test out some rigs. I'm going to leave myself with the Vampire APX, I think. So we have, here's my character, and you can have a online match. Now what they do with the online match is you all go into the same queue, and they changed immediately to another game. You get to see they improved it so much. At the beginning you say, well, I want this game queue, this game queue, this game queue. And with the amount of people that was there for VR, and you still had a lot of people that were finding their VR legs, this game was an extreme option because it had that much motion. So it was a launch title to be a multiplayer, high action, high pace, high movement game, very immersive game, was very, very brave. And it did mean that you had a lot of people go, oh, I can't take it, it's too much, and things like that, or we're a bit scared of it. So I think that's ultimately one of the things that caused the problem. You also had, obviously, the early days of this, the numbers were very limited by the amount of headsets out there, because now we're up to over 1 million headsets in the world in its first year, which is incredible. Here's the other one. There's my thing. In here, we also had some other things, like there's daily challenges, there's trials, like a weekly trial thing where you have to go through a load of challenges there. There's a load of challenges here. As you can see, I've got mostly golds and platinums through most of this. So, and are perfected for Zurich. Zurich was a piece of DLC as well that was added later. Now, I know there was also some planned additional content, so of other sites around the world. And that not happening was a saddening thing for me. But let's get into a game. There's basically 3 game types in this game. You have straight out team takedown. Like, so team deathmatch, essentially. So you just have to wreck your opponents. Then you had another type of game where it's kind of a mixture between team takedown and you becoming the basketball. So there's a game mechanic where you get charged up. And when you're charged up, there's a great big hoop in the middle of the arena that you have to jump through. So you're dunking yourself, in essence. And then you had the sort of like Powerball type thing for it, where you have a ball that can be passed. You have to grab it, pass it. Basically, when you grab it, you walk through the goal. But we're just going to do this one and say play. Proceed. And this is our guide. He says a lot of stuff all the time. He's very chatty. He's our Scottish team manager person. He's very chatty. But when you come into this game, it had a great presence. The character animation in here as well is absolutely amazing. It's Gorilla's, a trademark of Gorilla to make games that look absolutely stunning. And they manage it. And it's like, yeah, come on. Woohoo! Yeah, we're doing it. And you see, like, everything there with the animation. And they built it up, and you're in this space, and you've got this great big thing, and then it's like, boom, I'm in this mech. I'm in it. And we're going to go up there into the arena, and we're going to do our thing. So each mech as well had 3 different firing modes. So you have this, a shielding mode, a sprint mode, and an attack mode. And welcome to Dubai. So this is the Dubai arena. One of the first ones I was on, actually. And there's my teammates. Ooh! I got ejected in a bad place. We're going to go there. We need to take him out. Oh, that wasn't good. I've got to remember, I'm in an APX rig, which is basically a bit weak. Where's my teammates? Wow. Ooh. My teammates suck. I suck too, but I'm in the wrong rig for this for a first game out for a while. Come on, get the kill. There we go. Okay, he is there. Wow! Where did you get me from? Oh, from behind. Where's my teammates? I want to be there. They are whacking us big. Ooh! Oh! Where did he get me from? That was nasty. Wow. Yeah, yeah. That was a bit painful. Yeah, that was a bit painful. But you see what I mean about the graphics though. It's stunning. So round 2, we gotta pull this back. I'm doing terrible in the APX rig. The APX rig, by the way, is really fast compared to the normal ones, but it's a little bit weak when it comes to the shielding. That's not good. Where's my teammates? Oh, they're wiping the floor with us again already. Ah! I almost had him. He was so close to death, but... Whoa! I'm getting wrecked left and right there. Oh, he got him there. I need to help out the teammate. Oh! From behind. I want to get with my teammates, help out a bit there. What? Oh, wow. I went too far. Oh! Come on. We can get a few more. Ah, him over there. Yay! Now, the other thing to say actually is each rig had its own unique ability. This one I'm in, when it kills, it's supposed to regain all of its energy. Oh! But I got blasted hard there. I got really blasted hard there. That was ouch, ouch, ouch. See what I mean about the AI in here? Wow! Oh. Yeah. And you have, this is like your after thing, so everybody's a bit, yeah, let's talk about it, let's discuss it, that didn't go so well. When you win, these guys are like fired up, it's like, yeah, come on, you know? So, that was the player versus AI. And it's, you know, I think that's a good kind of like show, but I did terrible. I got a few kills in, but yeah. What's important with the rigs as well is that
I expected this tournament match to be one hell of a fight, and I wasn't wrong. You did your best though, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you, I'm glad. So yeah, going back to these rigs though, all these different types, they each have different sort of abilities. So these are sort of like the vampire ones. So when you take down an opponent, it restores all your armor. And then you had the Caprice, so that's got a shield on its back. So the only way you can attack one of these from behind is if you're actually physically ramming into it. And then you had the nuke, so anytime one of these are destroyed, it sets off an explosion. So anyone who's near it, friend or foe, gets nuked, which is, you know, nasty. Then they had that engineer that kept on giving health to all of its nearby teammates and was totally wrecking it. And then we have the thief. Now, the thief, hidden from radar when it's in its fastest mode. And the really great thing is it can shoot in the end zone mode, the one that's basically of picking the ball up and running with it or throwing it to your teammate. This can actually shoot the ball and it draws the ball to it. So that's a great advantage. So my favourite was always using this little rig. So each of the rigs as well. Let's give you a bit of an overview of what they have there. So though you have those different types, you also had 4 distinct models. So you would have this type here, which I've forgotten the name of. Why have I forgotten the total name of them? Blah 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 blah. Test rig. I can't remember the exact names of all of them, but basically, this one is it has like a jump where you charge the jump up and it jumps really high. It's the tank of the game, so really meaty and tanky. Doesn't have as much maneuverability or agility as the others. This one really low down, so it can actually get into spaces that this and the next rig I'm going to show you, the taller rigs, can't get into. So the stadiums all have different levels, and the level design is amazingly good in this game. Then we had these types. Let's actually show you. I should have shown you that one. So this is the second of the taller types. And these all have double jumps, and they're the fast, they're really kind of fast, double jump, sporty types. Then you have this one, which essentially can fly and hover. So you can run around low like the other model, but you can also set yourself up really high in the air and just float there. Kind of float thing, and then drop down into the lowest part of the maps, and then just pop straight up. So it had a good variety. Right. This was game number 1 that really sold PlayStation VR to me. We're going to move on to my next game. Now, in case you're wondering what the next game which really sold the PlayStation to me as a whole thing, it's, well, something that I've played quite a lot. It's Valkyrie. So let's come to Valkyrie, and we're just going to step into Valkyrie kind of quick. There's so much content on my YouTube channel of Valkyrie. which has just gone to Valkyrie Warzone, by the way. So even if you don't have a PSVR or you don't have VR, you can play this game on a standard PS4, on the PS4 Pro, because it's Pro patched as well. Or you can play it on PC through Steam or Oculus Home. You can play with an Oculus headset as well, HTC Vive, Open VR, yeah, OS VR. You can play with all of those, and everybody plays in the same games. So it's not just a case of it being either flat screen or VR. It's a case of all of the VR systems, the major VR systems, like the mid to high end, if you say the PSVR is the mid-range, if you like, and your Oculus and your Vives are your high ends. Doesn't matter, they all play in the same games at the same time, so it's really awesome in that. And look at this thing. Now, one of the reasons this kind of sold me is when I first saw the trailer for this, you hear like Katie Sackhoff, who voices one of the main female characters in this, and you hear her voice in the first trailer that came out, and I was sort of like, that sounds cool. And you see stepping into spaceships like this thing, getting shot out of a launch tube into a space battle that's just raging space battle. I mean, that's one of my dreams. To, if you want something like the science fiction, I love my science fiction, and I love space-based science fiction a lot as well. So, someone saying, hey, boom, you can do this. You can be in that spaceship. You can fly out of a launch tube and be launched into space in one of these things. It was just like, done and dusted. You know I'm buying it. So, yes, day one, Riggs, followed by this game. Those are the two big games that really made me go, yeah, I want this. So, that's the thing for me. Let's go straight into a game. This is multiplayer. There are some single-player parts to it that you can do, but that's not the focus of this game. So we're just going to go straight to multiplayer. And I have to redo some things here. And I had to just change my paddles on my controller. So we're going to go into Carrier Assault. So I'm going to use basically what's the de facto ship for this mode, and is seen as the icon of this game in many ways. Which is the Wraith, which has been upgraded from the Wraith Mark V that we was in before.
Says 070707.
Hey Abyss, how you doing? I'm just running through some games at the moment, so taking a guide, a little look at the PlayStation games that really stood out for me in year one. But that's just like, ooh, they've got one down through here. So, yeah, in this game, it's literally flying, fighting, it's wonderful,
Cats
hectic.
woke us early.
The cats woke you up early? What? Oh, I'm on defense. Bad cats, you know, waking you up early. I don't know. What could you do? Watch a bit of the streams, see what I think of what.
Biswalker Knight says, Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, indeed.
Bulldogs says,
Hey, Booker.
Good afternoon, Salsa.
How you doing, buddy? So yeah, I'm just taking a bit of a stroll through all the games.
Says, are you getting any hurricane warning there?
Oh, hang on, I need to turn the volume down here somewhere. Okay. Wow. We've got a team on our hands that's doing the job. I've got my Minier ready, otherwise known as the Meow Meow. Ah! Whoa! Whoa! I've got stuck. I've really got stuck. Ah! Get up! Out of there. Ooh. Fine, I'm out. That was not good. Right, let's just get a point down quickly.
Says, wife is on the phone with her dad and sister in Ireland. Apparently hurricane is category 2 coming your way.
What? Really? Wow.
The enemy has captured point C. Attack objective B.
We need people to go in, stop them getting B.
Booker Bulldogs says, sunshine here.
Oh, and here we go again. It's not happening. Yeah, I haven't seen, yeah. Weather here was okay, I think. Today's been quite pleasant, actually. It's quite nice and sunny out, actually. Let's do this and give ourselves a good view. Ready for this? Oh, it didn't show me the good view. Wow. Give me... Oh, there we go. Check that out.
Abyss Walker
Right
Knight
here on the station.
says, I lived through probably 20 of them living on the East Coast here in the US. Of course,
dude.
most buildings over there on your side of the pond are built better than the ones stapled together here.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on where you are. I mean, the hurricanes and different things like that don't really happen too much in the UK. I mean, we don't have earthquakes, we don't really have hurricanes, we don't have any of that stuff.
Most often it is power loss as an inconvenience.
Yeah. I mean, we have in recent years had a number of floods and stuff. But here you go. This is Eve Valkyrie. So I'm going to actually move on from Eve Valkyrie because so many people have seen me play it so many times. But yes, this is the other game that really, really sold the PlayStation VR for me. I'm going to come out here for a moment.
Bulldogs.
So, let me just turn
Neighbor was
something down
saying
so
Monday we meant to Gave Storm like in 1987.
Oh, I see, Abyss War. Yeah, no, we're not getting hurricane warnings here. No, the hurricanes hardly ever happen. So, that's the saying. Hurricanes hardly ever happen in Hertford, Hereford, and Hampshire. And it's quite true. They hardly ever happen in Hertford, Hereford, and Hampshire. And I'm quite near Hertford, really, so I know that for a fact.
Abyss Walker says.
Yes, indeed,
Eliza
it is
Doolittle.
Eliza Doolittle, and it was quite right. They do hardly ever happen. And I can testify to that because I do live quite near one of those places, near those counties. So. Yes. Right. Let's move on from Eve Valkyrie. Now, this is where I could maybe say a few things that would be different to what other people would choose as game. And to give people an idea of just how many games I've got to choose from, well...
Bulldogs says, we just get grey days regularly, lol.
Yeah, we just get grey days regularly, a lot of those, and sometimes it goes rainy, and there's some places in recent years that have had some problems.
The weather discussion
up north
is done.
In Scotland and that, they do have snow, and that can be an issue. Sometimes, well, the rest of the UK, when it has snow, it goes, ah, no, there's snow! And it's like about this much snow, and the entire country falls to pieces. And then, of course, in recent years, we've also had floods, but big hurricanes, not really a thing. We have had some problems before with high winds, but it's very unusual, very rare. Right, so let's go back to this list. And one of the other games that for me is a standout game, but you can see I've got a huge amount of games to go through.
Here in Colorado. Abyss Walker Knight says.
Oh, you're in Colorado. Yeah. Colorado, yeah, definitely. Plenty of snow. But you'd go skiing and snowboarding and stuff. You got mountains and the whole lot there. Which is kind of awesome. Right. My next standout game is something that many people, I don't know if they've picked it up, but I think is just one of those games that is truly amazing. Especially if you've got like a good sound, and I've always been tempted to buy a wearable subwoofer, what they call a tactile subwoofer, which you can get something called either the S2 or the M2. The S2 is one that actually sits on the on your chair, whereas the M2 is one that you'd strap to your back, which I've always thought I'd get that one over the S2. Because basically, then with other games where I'm standing up and stuff like that, I can have that wearable base, and it just like gives you a proper kick through your body so that you feel everything. But the game I'm going to go for as another standout game is this, Rez Infinite. Now, Rez Infinite was originally made for, was originally made for the Dreamcast. And with the PSVR, it got updated to VR, which is basically gave us
I got sub in my chair.
What can be called the definitive, the ultimate kind of version of Rez. is this VR experience. I know they also did something else there. Oh, you got a sub. Yeah, cool. In your thing. Wearable one, be cool. Yeah. I would love to get my hands on one, but I'm a bit sort of like, it's about £300. This it's not like it's not a subwoofer in a normal sense. 50. It's actually like
VR life.
A conductive
women,
one.
Hate the snow.
So it does make some sound, but it doesn't make a lot of sound. It actually makes more of the feeling, so it actually puts that bass through your entire body, like you was standing in a concert or a big club, like Super Club, and where you can just feel the sound. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, nice one, Abyss. Nice one, Abyss. I understand that one, but if you was so inclined, you could go snow skiing in the mountains. But that's the other point of something like PSVR. It lets you go places that you wouldn't normally go. But we're going to step into this. And like I say, this game's origins is actually way back when, with the Dreamcast, is where this game started its journey. Now, this thing also has...
With Doom and Impatient and Skyrim and FF Fishing and Bravo Team LOL gonna be expensive few months, happy smiley.
Yeah, there's a few games that are coming out.
This Walkernight says, see how I tried to steer the convo back on point to VR.
Very good, dude. Very good. Right, this is basically what I think is one of the masterworks of VR as well. Even if you don't think that you would like the music type, which the main music in here from the original, I'm not actually a big fan of. But this game, it makes you feel it. So I'm going to take us straight into the original game first. Now, as you can see, I'm in the VR mode here, so I can look around and everything else like that. And I'm going to use the head tracking. You can use a move controller, or you can use the D-pad type things, the sticks. But honestly, all you need to use is the X button. So we're going to go into the standard mode first and then play a bit of that. Now, what I always found amazing about this game... actually, I'm going to go into the Beyond version. No, we're going into the original version. And do it from the start point of where you would go into first. It's just a rhythm game. Simple as that. Hold the button down, lock on, release. And you can lock up to 8 things. It's so simple. And the music will come along. And here we start.
This Walkernight says, have you shown Thumper yet?
I don't have Thumper. I played the demo, but I didn't get it because I got this, and I was like, it's not, Thumper was not the standout game for me. It wasn't one of those ones, which a lot of people would disagree with, because there are a lot of people who go, Thumper, yeah.
Walkernight.
I will mention the ones that...
Me too, got the demo. Booker Bulldogs says, I liked Thumper.
So the basics of this game is really simple. And you hear the music, but what I found was, when I first saw this on a 2D screen as you're watching it now, I was like, really?
This Walkernight
is that what it's like?
Says, can honestly say I have not seen this.
Dude, this is one of the hidden gems of the PSVR. In all honesty, a lot of people, when I first saw it, I was like, really? By the end of this first level, when you get to the second level, and the music starts kicking in, it's like, you cannot believe it all ramps up. and you try and get your character to evolve, you see my character's kind of like rezzing in, so hence Rez. Things still in there, my character becomes more complete as it levels up. And all of the time, the bass kicks in here, all the bass kicks go through the rumbles, so you feel them, and after a while the music just sort of like comes in. You know, it's one of those things I do recommend on the high volume, so you start to really feel it. And what will end up happening is, like, I'm already starting to get into it, as you can see from the square bouncing around. But I'm already starting to feel it kick in. So if I had that wearable sub, which like I say is kind of expensive, I think it's £300 or $300, it's a bit annoying that it's the same price in dollars as it is in pounds, but if I had it spare I might be very tempted. Maybe next year when I come back from Japan. But this pad just going in your hands as well, it all adds. And I'm going to show you through this level, and then I'm going to take you to the newer expanded bit they did, which is called Area X. So you have the normal area, which this is the part of. Then you have another part that extends past this called Beyond. A number of challenges there. Then you have Area X, which is the updated experience that puts it more in terms of the newer graphics, because this is essentially the same graphics that's from the original game that was made for the Dreamcast. The order of things happening in here is exactly as it was on the Dreamcast, but obviously updated for VR. And it all is really, really smooth. It's super sampled as well, so it's like super sharp. You can see I've just ended up, my characters just filled in a bit.
Says, my standout games would be Eve, Rez Evil, Farpoint, Dirt Rally, Superho, Star Blood Arena, Spark. Some other good games, but not standout.
We're coming to some of those as well, and there's some others that I'm going to be mentioning that other people may not agree with, but for me, they made the best use of the PSVR and of VR itself to do some things that others didn't do. But this game was basically conceived before VR happened, really as a VR. It's very much a Lawnmower Man moment in certain ways. You guys are old enough to know exactly what I mean by the Lawnmower Man moment.
Abyss Walker Knight says, I do, LOL. Booker Bulldogs says, yeah, course, winking smiley. Abyss Walker Knight says, Jeff Fahey and Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this game is something else. If you don't have it and you've never experienced it, even if you're not into this type of music, I seriously recommend it, because once you go through it enough, the rhythms will just catch you.
Knight says,
and the entire thing just works.
The retro feel of the 80s.
Exactly, retro feel of the 80s, mixed in with 90s, mixed in with this whole perceived this is going to happen moments, which didn't at the time and is now only coming to fruition. We was there when VR first sort of like came up as a promise that didn't happen, and now it is.
The point of me mentioning Thumper was the music integration.
Oh yeah, I get you. Thumper is another one that borrows from here. Thumper is, you know, another type that uses rhythm games, and Rez is considered by many as has a cult following. It is considered as the rhythm game, the initial, the sort of defining moment of rhythm games, as it were. Stage complete.
Abyss Walker Knight says, gotcha.
So 100%. 100%. I missed some. 94%. Killed all the enemies though. But the basic thing of this game is there's a storyline to this of an AI, and you've gone into a computer and you're helping this AI.
Standout first VR play for friends to try is without doubt London Heist.
I get you on that one. I'm going to come to the next game I'm going to play after I show you an area here.
Says, so you played this before? He.
I have played this before. Yes, I have played this before. This is obviously the roundup of what I like. But this is Area X that we're going to show you now. This is the more up-to-date version.
Says, GG.
Now this game, of course, is available for the 2D modes as well. It's pro-patched as well. So they've got a 4K version of this. And you have, obviously, this version, which is now loading. Come on, loading. Any moment. There we go. Oh. Switched over from the game engine. So that was the original version. This is the update version. The updated area, where you get to control motion as well, so you can force your character to move backwards or to fly forwards. And then of course you've got the freedom of looking wherever you want to look. And of course the sound again has moved on and is kind of nice and sublime. And at this area as well, they do have like dynamic elements. So some things are sometimes a little bit different. Now the creator of this, there is something else gonna come out based around this type of rhythm thing. We're not sure what he's gonna do, which hopefully I would love to see more done like Area X, because it's stunning. It really is. If you can imagine it just with all these beats and everything's just there, really looks good. I will give one piece of advice as well to people with the PlayStation VR. Make sure and set your IDP. If you get your IDP right, this is just incredible. The depth and the breadth of everything in here is just amazing.
Walker Knight says, Particle-based instead of rudimentary polygons.
Yep.
Abyss Walker Knight says, Neato. Abyss Walker Knight says, BRB, need, coffee. Vital to survival.
Understand. Coffee hit, needed. Go do it. I have to have my tea in the morning. If it's a work day, I have caffeine, but I can only have so much caffeine, actually. I used to have stupid amounts of caffeine, but since my operation, I don't have that much, because it has an odd effect on me now. But you can feel the ramp up with this game. But we're going to come back to some more of that. But that's Rez Infinite. That's another game where I saw the review of it, and I was sort of like, I don't know, I owned an art, and I saw one review of it, and like me, he was just like, this is amazing, I don't care, whatever, you have to try this. So, that's my advice to anybody. If you're on the fence about Rez Infinite, if there is a sale on, and Rez Infinite is in that sale, and you don't have it, get it. It's just that amazing. It's like, it does things to your brain. It's like, when you first play it, it's like, yeah, okay, the music's good, no. And you'll find yourself being immersed. It just builds this cocoon of rhythms and motion and everything combined around you. And it fills this sort of space which is very kind of, it's like meditation in the middle of a mass of sound and rhythm and bass and beats and action and motion, and it's very, very euphoric. So, basically, I can't stress just how good that game is. Right, we're going to move on from here to my next sort of standout motion. I know that Abyss has gone for some coffee, but hey, you know, there you go. If you've just come to the channel, welcome as well. I'm going through some standout games for me. So,
Dark Zero Child says, what did you think of Riggs?
Well, as I was saying, Riggs was the first game that actually sold the PSVR for me. It was the thing that I saw and went, I need to play this. So the studio was closed down, and there was kind of, it's left in a sort of unfinished state, is something that's very saddening for me. That it's free for people that have PSN Plus accounts, you know, have PlayStation Plus accounts, is great, because I think more people needed to play that game, especially after they got their VR legs, because there's a lot of people in the beginning who couldn't take that amount of motion and that intensity. But it's an absolutely brilliant game. It's still a shining example of what this technology is capable of. It's absolutely down the line. Riggs has that essential qualities that is needed to show off the technology properly. I need to change some game types. I'm very aware there. I wasn't changing my game types. I must change the game codes now. Right, that's that clear for the moment, because I'm not playing that game time. Right, I'm going to move on to what I see as another defining game, which you may or may not agree with me. I also think it's one of the games I like to show people who are new to VR. Along with, I'll show you something else in here as well. The Playroom VR. Playroom VR has, it's free for anybody that has the PSVR. It's got social games in here, which I think is really important. If you're ever going to show off VR to someone who's new to VR, this is the thing you want to use first, because if they've never used VR, this will let them experience VR in a way that's very good with the motion safety, the motion thing. You're going to see the social screen, which is slightly different to what I've got there. There we go. I need to move back a bit. That's what I want. Fireworks! There we go. Boom! Boom, boom. Basically, Playroom VR is a collection...
Walker says, ha ha, I show them rush of blood. Indoctrinated with a true feeling of OMG.
Yeah, see, I don't show anybody... I made a big mistake early on with people with VR, especially when they have motion sickness problems. And they'll go, I want to see this. And they'll be like, Dirt Rally. And that's the first thing they come to. It's far too much. So what I tend to go with first is actually this game. This is the one that I use to show people who are brand new to VR because it's pin sharp. You can play it with multiple people in the room. It's really easy to get into. You're using motion as well. So for me, that's a really good game. But the game that really stands out in here to me isn't actually this game. In Playroom VR, there is this here. Everybody would think if you got a VR, then a platformer isn't going to be the thing for it. But this game, Robot Rescue...
Abyss Walker Knight says, what gets me sick in less than 20 seconds is any of the games that use that 30-degree slicing and the view skips.
I get you. You saw the photos that was up there. That's me showing this off to a few people. So there's me by myself. Some other colleagues of mine playing along with them. Some different people just after they've been playing. So that gives you an idea of what this game is like and about. Because this as well is another one of those games that's quite a good, gentle one. And anybody who's ever played... a platformer can kind of pick this up. There you go. You're seeing a different view to me as well. You've got the social screen. But this game is just incredible in VR. It's like, boom. Welcome to this beautiful little world. And oh no, it's... Where's all my buddies gone? And then you have something here where I can see things in real world. I need to unplug this because it's messing with my tracking. And they do this. Transforms the controller that's in my hands. And look, you've got a little character. I don't know if you can see him there properly. Oh no, you're seeing from my view, I think. So I'm going to throw him out of my controller. And then I get to make him do what I need. Now, if you've got another player, they would be around, floating around, and you can play together. The other player would go get those and hoover stuff up, and I can beat that mushroom. I mean, the animation in this is just great. Anyhow, it's a platformer where you have to pick up coins. It makes perfect sense. It's so simple. It's such a little, easy game. It's something that people would just not associate as being Standout. I think everybody who's played this game has usually gone, I want more of this game. I want this thing to be a full game.
Says, LOL, I like the basalt formations, Giant's Causeway.
Exactly. Plus, this is another great thing with this. When you go through here, watch what happens to the foliage. I can push the foliage with my head. It moves around like it's a real world thing. I can, you know, you can't do it with that, unfortunately. That does go through it. They messed that bit up. But with your head, you just, yeah! It's great! It's like, I've just discovered, and watch this, watch this.
Abysswalker Knight says,
kick him in there!
Collision detection.
Yeah, the collision detection is great in this. Gonna get you, and you, yeah. But the game mechanics, it's engaging, so... I got a hook, throw the hook out, oh, missed. There we go. Jump up on the rope and you can sort of like, look. He's got some seriously good balance. Although he was definitely shaking a bit there. I love that little bit. The attention to detail in this game was just so brilliant. And it's one of those things, I think there are so many people out there who goes, this is one of those games that really needs to have that happen. So this is one of my other standout games, and it's one of those games that I really do think is great for anybody who's new to VR. And you want to show VR off as well in a different way that's kind of unexpected. This is one of the great ways, and you can play it with them. And that, to me, is another part of VR, because everybody expects VR to be a singular experience. Go get this guy. Oh. He's getting full in there. Oh yeah, come on. He thought he was hard enough, he weren't. Yeah. Don't think so, buddy. Ah! Get in there. Boom. So yeah, this is the Playroom. The other thing with the Playroom, it has some other experiences. Let's put there. So I had a number of experiences in this Playroom game, which it doesn't show up immediately, this game. You actually have to go search for it. So if you're new to PSVR, make sure you go to the store and look for Playroom VR, because it's by far one of the best early experiences you can do for yourself. So do yourself that favour, go and do that. And it's you know, it uses this experience of this immersion of the controller being in here, which is going to bring me nicely on to one of my next games, which I think is a standout game for me because it uses again the VR experience to what others didn't, and in a way that others didn't. So it was a very unique game in those terms. Where's my thing? And that game is going to be Statik. So let's get to Statik.
Abysswalker Knight says, I've seen it in the store, never bothered with it. I tend to avoid cartoony stuff. However, it does give a good example, as you say.
Yeah.
Well thought out.
Oh yeah. It's a very good example. And the game they added later, the I always forget the name of it. It's like the machine gun one is brilliant for first timers because you can have one person VR, you can have another 3 or 4 people playing on pads in the same game at the same time.
Says, I never did Statik either. Think it's on sale at Mo.
It's a good game. It's an amazing experience. Depending on how good you are at puzzles, your time can vary. I've gone through a load of this. I haven't done the secret puzzles because there are secret puzzles in this, by the way. There are hidden depths to this game. It's in some ways it's a little bit sick. It's often been compared with Portal in some ways, which I think is a very bad example. I think it's just because of the way it tries to mess with your head. So it has this very nice calm music. It's all pin sharp. We're not going to go to something that's too complicated, I don't think. We're going to start with the easy ones. We'll start with the first bit so that you can see what the puzzles are doing. And the thing that's really amazing about this game is how well they've used VR, because you're essentially just used the DS controller. Ooh. That head swim moment where it's like, what? What?
When you're ready, my dear.
Hidden in the corner. It's all very mysterious, you see.
Well, I guess welcome back to the Statik Institute of Retention. I think we should begin with a quick functionality check.
Okay.
The unit in front of you is made up of a number of elements under your direct control. What these elements are,
so basically, wherever I move the controller, that's what this is moving. So it feels like, obviously, my hands are stuck in a box.
Hidden in the corner, screaming its name.
And in here, my hands are hidden in a box. And whatever I do here is what it does here. They overamp some of the motion because of how the control works, but basically it's a puzzle. I'm just going to do this puzzle completely quickly.
Well done.
Yay! So we did that, and now we've got a puzzle here. So it doesn't tell you what any of the controls are. So all the controls, what controls are active, what they do, anything like that. You've just got to work it all out for yourself, how to do whatever. And make it get through this whole thing. So I've got a battery there, and you've got these wires that are going through. And in this puzzle's case, I'm solving it by connecting the wires up. And once it's solved it, it goes, yeah, you've solved that bit, and now I can move on to another bit. So we've got a puzzle here. My battery compartment is there, so I want to kind of like link it all together, and it's going round, and we want that one, and that one, and that one. and that gives us something there. So that's that bit. Then we've got other things here. Like that.
Remarkable.
So there we go. Look at what I did. So this weird guy, he's very odd thing, and I've got a ticket.
This is of course Edith, and she
That's
wakes
Edith.
up when she's certain you'll be going to sleep. I think she finds you a bit unnerving, actually. Who knows what's going on inside?
I like teasing Edith.
So let the old girl scan the ticket, and we can call this a day.
There we go. Bye, creepy, blocked out dude. We'll show you more detail, actually. I'll show you one more puzzle. Because it's very odd. This is what it does next. So...
Hello, Dr. Ingen. That's me.
That's Dr. Ingham. Accept your fate.
On that particular raincoat, and largely immaterial. It's easy to be a little heavy-handed in the beginning, as I'm sure you're aware.
This Doctor Ingham is your guide, your sort of doctor, your enigma, and let's get something straight about this first of all. The graphics are pin sharp, but you'll see his face and you'll go, hang on, he's not pin sharp. Well no, he's been digitized so you can't see his face. You don't get to see his face ever. In fact, there's a bit where you get to see what you'd look like, which, by the way, this thing that's above his head. Ah! It's a bit scary. I didn't give you any clues when I looked over there at all. I swear. Didn't. Maybe I did. But I'm not telling you. You'll have to find them out for yourselves. But so you get all these fantastical boxes that do different things, and you kind of like have to work out what buttons are doing what and how what works. And you have to figure out these whole sets of, you know, puzzles of what that does.
Abyss Walker says,
it's really
Cave Johnson's brother from another mother.
Yeah, well, the other thing with this, of course, is... Did I get that wrong? Oh, I did. Basically, even when you see yourself, you end up... There's a bit where you can see yourself, and you have that fuzzy thing happening there. You can see we've got stuff here that's happened, and... Yeah, I don't want to give too much away on that one. This is a game, Statik is a game, it's both amazing for its use of VR, it's engaging, it can be very unsettling, but it can be reassuring at the same time. It can be infuriating because there are moments in this game where you will be sat there and you'll be going, what am I missing? How can I be this stupid? What the hell is the thing here? What is it? And you will get those moments, trust me. I played did like a playthrough, which you can see of myself when I first do it, going, but what's what and what and what and what? What does a pyramid of the moon have to do with anything? And it's all very, very sometimes unsettling. But it really, really does make things work. No, excuse me one moment. sorry. Bear with me. Real life happening. I'm gonna move on.
Abyss Walker Knight says TYT. Booker Bulldogs says all good.
Sorry, real life things happen now and again. You have to deal with them now and again. But that's Statik. Hopefully you're getting an idea of what Statik's like. It's quite a cheap game. It's a very unique game. Depending on how good you are at puzzles, you could take somewhere between, say,
Booker Bulldogs.
You could go through it in about an hour.
No probs, fella.
If you are like amazingly good at puzzles, then you could go through the first bit without the secrets. You could go through that in about an hour. Typically, you're looking at about 3 hours for your first playthrough. Then you've got the other secrets to find. And they're going to take you a bit more time because you have to go through the entire thing, find out the different secrets that point you to where the other things are, and then remember the solutions from the other bits that you saw in other bits to get you to the end again, which is a different end, and the extra puzzles. And then on top of that, there's if one of the unique things they did with this game is to say, okay, if you have somebody else that has the mobile phone app, when you open the mobile phone app for the PlayStation, when you're in Statik, it actually gives you a different layout. So half of the controls inside the box and different things for the controls inside the box are moved to the phone. That's not all. They actually changed the puzzles as well. So what you would play normally by yourself in VR, you can add somebody outside of VR with the phone. They will get a different part of the puzzle, and you will get a different part of the puzzle, and the puzzle will be different as well. And there's a couple of them where they've basically changed the entire thing up. So you can play with someone in VR and out of VR at the same time. So they really have thought about this game, and they made a lot of differences to this game, which is why this game is on my standouts list, because it really has that engagement. That's what I see of the PSVR. Those are the outstanding games to me. The ones that do something different, the ones that break out of the norm, the ones that actually go, hey, look what we did. Yeah? They just go, look what we did here. So that's Statik. Right. We're going to take another one which is going to be one of the smaller games, which different people may not have seen. Or may not go for, but I found it as an enjoyable experience. It's a little title, little indie game. It's a nice little indie game, and it is that button there. The Lost Bear. We're going to take a look into the Lost Bear. So, Lost Bear is one of these sort of games that's come out of like a bit of a competition thing. The reason why this is a standout game to me is literally that it's taken something that you wouldn't have thought of for VR. And made it happen in a way that nobody kind of would have gone, oh yeah, that's an obvious fit for VR. But that's what they've done.
Abyss
They've done
Water
something
Knight
kind of nice
says, apologies,
and unique.
I got a
No
scoot.
problem, Abyss.
Catch up
Good having
soon.
you in the channel again, as always. It's always fantastic to have people watching and talking and contributing in the chat. So thank you very much.
Abyss Walker Knight
Do what you're going to do.
says,
Indeed.
070707.
Multiple 07s. The 0007. Oh, I like that. Oh, the 0007. That is class. That is class, isn't it? The 0007. Oh, dude. Yes. 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 Ah. It's that one step further above 007. It's the 0007. Licensed to play VR. Right. Lost Bear. So, this is actually VR, a 2D side-scrolling platformer in VR. Sounds kind of an oddity, but it all starts to make sense when you play it, because it's all about an experience. This is like a storytelling thing as well. And I like stories being told, and I kind of like a bit of theatre now and again. I like a bit of production of things. So, The Lost Bear is kind of very theatrical. Literally. Theatrical. We're going to open up the curtain on The Lost Bear. I'm going to start from the beginning point, and I'm only going to show a little bit of The Lost Bear. It's a very short experience. It lasts about an hour or a bit over an hour. It depends how good you are at platformers. And you're here in your nice big chair, relaxing while playing your game. Okay, we'll do a chapter select. Oh, we'll start from the beginning. That's fine. So yeah, it's a very short experience, but it's a unique one, which is why it's kind of, for me, one of the standouts, because this is beautifully crafted. It's a small team. It comes about from a very different place. Now, I know this looks like it's a straight up 2D thing, but there are levels in this. It's like each of these sort of, like, everybody who's familiar with old school gaming will have heard the term of parallax scrolling. I mean, parallax scrolling was one of the things that came out of Psygnosis back in the day, back in the early 80s, and stuff like that. And every single one of those levels is actually a different level and it just draws you in. There's the bear. And we're going to find out how the bear ends up being the lost bear. So, from having the bear to ending up with a lost bear, it's all nice. We've got all the butterflies. There's some bees over there. I'm a little bit wary of bees. It's such a strange thing here. So we've got, right. Hey, it's so simple. There you go. Oh, look. Honey. Bees. Honey. There's bees coming near me. Hide. Oh. There's a few bees. In case you're wondering, when I was young, there was a wasp nest in one of my parents' friends, their garden. And I was about 5, I think. About 5. And I was in the garden, and I didn't know about the wasp nest. And I'd gone near somewhere, and the wasps attacked me. I was stung about well over 100 times, and it actually put me into a coma. It almost killed me, in fact. I've actually... that was coma number 2. I've been in 2 comas, which is not a good thing. But there you go. Been in 2 comas, and one of those comas was caused from wasps, a flock of wasps. So bees have the same buzzy thing going on with them, and so them swarming around me is a bit of a moment. It's not as bad as spiders, but yeah. What stands out to me about this game is this theatrical puzzle. It's this involvement, this unexpected sense of occasion, this wrapped into a world, storytelling, a different way to engage you. And that's something that is very important with VR, is that it does something different. It's using something unique here, and this is a game that has been, made for this system. I mean, look, there's my control in here. You move something on the control, it moves, and they do different things like this, where you use the controller uniquely. And it's these little things, the polish of this, that makes it something that's truly unique, a different experience. See, if I had the space to be able to be all the way back there and walk up to that stage, you would see layer on layer on layer of cell-drawn images stacked in behind each other to give depth to this. So there is, although it's 2D, it's not exactly flat. It's so hard to describe without you being here, in here, with me. And that's what's great about that. That's why it's got a unique game. It's a unique thing, and it's something that I think is, you know, well worth a look. It's made by Oddbug Studios. Unless it's got a student involvement as well as this, so there's B. Ooh. He disappeared. There he is. B to B, and then she falls. Now there's a story behind how this came about, and it's one of the actual main developers. And the story is that on a camping trip or whatever, their niece has gone disappeared around the woods and stuff like that. And then later on in the day, she just comes back. Look, see, there's a spider. I don't like spiders, by the way. And he's got the bear. So it's less a case of the lost bear and more of a case of the stolen bear. But the story is sort of like this is based around is that girl going off on the camping thing, and then coming back later, and this is sort of like filling in the story of her adventures. So that's where that comes from, and that's one of the things that makes it unique, and why it's one of my outstanding titles for the PSVR in terms of something that makes a difference, something that's really stood out to me and said, hey, you know, this is different. So it's one that I think people should enjoy. It's a very short experience, and I know there's a lot of people out there goes, I don't want short experiences, we want big long games that take forever for you to complete. And yeah, we do want those. But sometimes you have things where you just want a little bit of a break, a nice little chill thing. And this is one of those ones that's a unique experience that is just so well done. But I can't sort of like recommend enough for sometimes you should take that time, this little bit of time, for an hour or so with something like this, where you can just go through it now, because not everybody has a massive time. And this is one of those experiences where you get to have this nice little theatrical puzzle. Ooh, they're glowing. The eyes are glowing and they're spinning. Danger, danger. So it gives you a different thing there. We're chasing that spider. Uses good old platforming mechanics. You have to get your timing spot on. Judge of distance, everything else like that. But it's just, you know, this is a really good example of a game that's gone from all sorts of nice to taking a little bit more of a they're looking at. There's eyes in the woods. Has a little bit more of a twist to it than you may expect. But on that note, we're going to leave The Lost Bear and move on to something else. Another outstanding game. Or something that I found as outstanding. Now, I'm not going to do the full setup here, but one of the games that really, really just makes me go, wow, especially if you have a steering wheel, is this next one. Dirt Rally VR. So, if you have a steering wheel and you have Dirt Rally, it's an expansion that costs £10. Now, you can get an old copy of Dirt Rally really cheap, and then just go, here's the VR expansion. They also sold it as a complete thing, as an individual box game, where it has the VR with it, and you've got like some extras in the bundle. But it's one of those things. If you have a steering wheel and you have the PSVR, Dirt Rally is something that you need. It's a de facto must-have game. I mean, there's Drive Club VR with a steering wheel. Drive Club VR, don't get me wrong, is fun. It's good for that. It has its own problems, the resolution being one of them. Some people say Dirt Rally isn't as clear as it could be. Me, it's fine. Where are we gone? Dirt Rally. It's in here somewhere. There it is. So, Dirt Rally. Dirt Rally is the next one that we're going for. Okay. Right. So if you have a steering wheel, this is definitely a game that you must have. It's so immersive. It's just that damn good. It puts a smile on my face when I come back into this game. With a full setup, it's brilliant, but unfortunately that would mean me changing everything around, getting my steering wheel down and out and getting that set up and things like that. So I'm just going to play it with the pad for the moment. It's nowhere near as immersive for me with the pad. I like this game best with a steering wheel. So that's my advice. If you have a steering wheel and you have a PSVR and you don't have Dirt Rally, you're doing yourself a disservice, because this is the full game in VR, and it just works. It's just that damn good. So, if you have the full game, you just literally go straight up and update it. Get the full thing. Right. Been a long time since I've tried this with a gamepad, because I've got a steering wheel, so why wouldn't I? We're going to enable VR mode. Okay. So that's going to be doing its thing. Good. Well. Now, in here we've got the entire game of Dirt Rally. There is nothing compromised in that. It's the full game. The entire lot. Now, you can do custom events, which is what I do a lot of. You have a full career mode, which is both online career modes like you have with the full game, championships, custom championships, PvP events for the there you go. For like Rallycross, so you can play with other people in there. Online custom championships. You have all of these, like my last one. Where did I get to? Middle tier. I was middle tier. I didn't do all of the events. So you have daily events that you can do, weekly events, monthly events, and then if there's special events. So all those available in there. The straight up championship. So you've got Pikes Peak. I haven't done that. You've got Rallycross. You've got straight up classic rally. So the Rallycross, you've got 3 other cars on the track. Obviously the rally stuff is a timed thing, so you don't have other cars on the track, but it's very involving. I'm just going to show you one event. I haven't played this with controller in so long, so I'm not exactly sure what the things are. Let's do something seriously mad. No, we'll do something normal. Where should we go? Location-wise, you've got Greece, you've got Wales, you've got Monaco, you've got Germany, Finland, and Sweden. I'm going to go with Finland. That'll do. And when it comes to cars, we've got cars from 60s, 70s, 80s, these B group, 4-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, Group A's, kit cars, R4s, 2000s and 2010s. I think this time I'm going to go with Group B, rear-wheel drive. That's going to be kind of nasty. Let's go with something that's a little bit more modern. Let's go with an R4. No, not the R4s. The 2000s, maybe. Looks like that. And then the 2010s. Do 2010s, actually. I'll go with... These are front-wheel drive. We'll just go with the Fiesta RS Rally. Now, I'm not sure how the gears and everything in here is going to work, because I'm used to doing full manual gears and everything, so normally with the steering wheel. So I'm probably going to drive terribly. Not that I'm really good anyway, but I have gotten better. When I first started this game, I was absolutely dreadful, because I put my foot to the metal, I just go for it. And I have such a blast with this game, because it's so involving. It really does show you what VR is about when it comes to a cockpit game. Cockpit games, driving games, they scream out a need for VR. They are so well suited for VR. And this is one of those outstanding moments. One of the things that's disappointing from Codemaster, who created this, is their latest version, Dirt 4, they haven't included VR into it. If they included VR into it, yeah, buy it in a snap. It's one of the things I've had a problem with coming from, say, Dirt Rally VR to doing racing with Gran Turismo Sport during the week, where it's on a 2D screen, and the force feedback of Gran Turismo Sport just doesn't hold a candle to the force feedback in this game. The mapping of the wheel, the feeling of sliding wheels, that motion of the track, the whole feeling of the track vibrates through the steering wheel and everything else like that. We're going to find out what the controls are. As I say, I don't normally use a controller for this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And keep right over 2 crests, 40.
Okay, that's... It's gone to auto gears, okay.
5 over crest jump maybe. And left 6 over crest. 200 past junction, crest.
See, this game, when you play it with a steering wheel, all of the feelings of the road is there.
Into crest. And crest jump maybe. 40 past junction, crest.
And
keep left over crest.
it really does engage you that much more.
Jump maybe. Right 6.
If you're just used to...
Junction, caution crest jump. And middle over big jump. Into left 6 past junction. 60.
It really does work.
Jump. Into middle over crest jump. 130.
Oh. Yeah, you get the idea. This guy's cool as a cucumber there.
And left 5 continues over 2 crests and tight.
It's just made for it. You can't not
Crest jump maybe.
have this game. If you like driving games for at all, it's a must buy, and it's something where I went out and bought the steering wheel, a force feedback steering wheel, just for this game, and I don't regret it. I bought the driving wheel, I got a stick shift, I spent £170 on my wheel, which you can get for as low as 140 for the wheel that I use, which is a Logitech G29. And I can't recommend it highly enough. Oh, ow! Wow. Now, a lot of people will also say, hang on a second, one of the things that people want to point out is the back of the car is here. When you're playing normally, you never see, you never notice. So bear that in mind as well when you do get this game. But it is just
left 5, keep in. 40.
So cool.
Right 4 half long, don't cut.
It's a must buy. In short, if you want to see the differences as well between what the PlayStation Pro can do when you compare it to an original PlayStation, this is one of those games that's very easy to spot the differences, and you can see where they've spent the additional power. And if you look into my channel, there is a Dirt Rally PS4 versus PS4 Pro, where I go through in detail. Wow, it's like playing this again from the start. Switching to joypad over steering wheel. Don't do it, I tell you. Do it with a steering wheel. You will just love it. If you've got a joypad anyway, play it. If you're used to playing with pads, that's fine. But if you want to get the most out of it, I have to say, the steering wheel really does tie it together. Just that much.
Left 5 opens over crest. 40 through dip. Keep right over crest jump maybe.
Oh,
Right 6 through dip.
I'm supposed to be right. No. I'm amazed that none of my tyres have got splattered yet.
Left 6 over 100.
With this amount of crashing, one of my tyres or my wheels
Middle over crest jump.
should be broken by now.
60. Left 5 over crest jump.
Oh.
80. Left 3 half long over crest past junction. Crest.
How many times did I roll? That was cool. That was cool. That was just awesome. I love it. I've got a GIF actually where I clipped one of the sides and I just rolled over, did a full 360, landed on the wheels and kept on going. It was so good. Severe damage. Suggest retirement. No, we don't. We keep on going. Severe damage, nothing.
Into crest. Right 3 long. Crest. Right 3 long. Crest. And crest. 100. Left 6 over crest, don't cut.
Okay, I'm being a bit more cautious now.
Right 4 keep in. 130 to finish.
There we go. We'll finish sideways. Nice. That's all I'm going to show of Dirt Rally because, honestly, as an experience, with a steering wheel, it's just unbelievably good. Can't recommend it enough. It's something that the PSVR was made to do. We need more of that. I've still been half undecided about GT Sport because I wasn't able to try the VR element of it, and I was very underwhelmed by the force feedback in the Gran Turismo Sport demo. I found that it just didn't do any of the nuances of the road, so you can't feel like rumble strips. You don't feel the drag from the different wheels. On this game, you can tell which wheel has a problem. If you've got a flat tyre, you know what one it is. You know how the car is dragging. You can feel the entire thing. So, for me, for now, the best driving game on the PSVR is Dirt Rally VR. Until something actually manages to create that immersion, this is a game that truly, truly gives you immersion like nothing else. Having that steering wheel with the good, a decent force feedback steering wheel, with all the motion, everything else there, it rocks. It just absolutely cannot recommend it highly enough. It's amazing. It's hard work as well, first of all. If you don't have the stomach for it, please take it easy, because this is one of those games where it's like it can be like that, especially Finland, where it's got all the jumps and you've got the steering wheels giving you all the force feedback, and it really is a bit of a workout. So yeah, that's another one of my standout games. Right, we're going to move on to some of the other standout games and what has left an impression on me. Some of these I'm not going to be able to do too well because of the amount of space I've got at the moment. I'm more in my seated setup, but we'll try and do a couple of things that are different. So the next one I'm actually going to do sitting down a bit. It's time to feel a little bit of fear. Yeah, we're going to feel a little bit of the fear. Because, well, and it's a good one for Halloween. I'm not going to play the full game. I'm going to show you a bit of the beginning. Only a little bit of the beginning. It is Resident Evil 7. Yeah. Resident Evil 7. This game, let's just say it, this game is evil. It's scary. It's a definite, proper, scary game. Right, I'm going to put this on. Okay. Yes, I want to play in VR mode. If you have this game and you have a PSVR and you haven't played it in PSVR mode, what are you doing? It's built for VR. Do the VR. Deal with it. It's a horrific experience, but is well worth it. This is the game that everybody goes, well, this is the only AAA title in some phase, and I disagree with that in many ways, because AAA doesn't say much. What it does say about this game, though, is it's amazing. It's super scary. It's just so engaging. Okay, so what we're going to do, I am not going to continue on from where I was. This is like the thing with this game, straight away, it drops you in this space. It's creepy. It's unnerving. It's so well made. I mean, look at the detail in here. I mean, it's done everything so well. The amount of power that they managed to pull out, what they've done with this game to make it look this good is incredible. I can't put it any other way that it's really great. It's really great. So I'm going to do that as a normal difficulty thing. It works on the DS4.
Hey, baby. I just wanted to send a quick hello, and I love you. Oh, good news. I'm going to be coming home soon. Yay!
And this is a recording from the wife.
I cannot wait to be done with this babysitting job and come home to my loving husband. I
Hey.
miss you. Oh, I gotta get back to work. I love you, Ethan. I miss you so much. I'm sending tons of kisses. Bye, baby.
Right. That was what was there, and then now
Ethan. You were right. I did lie to you. I shouldn't have. All I can say is that if you get this, stay away.
you know, if you got that, he's not staying away. He's just not. So we're not. We're going to go into a very odd world here.
Hello? Hey, it's Ethan.
Oh, hey. You alright?
I'm only going to play a bit of this because, as you can see, the intro part,
I'm good.
it's doing its whole story thing.
She's not dead. She's alive.
This is
she's back.
a lot more story-based. It builds the
I
tension
don't know. Look,
and this
I don't know how.
and everything.
She's back.
So,
She's back somehow. Maybe it's a prank. She wants me to come and get her.
Where is she?
Dulvey, Louisiana.
Dude, it's been 3 years.
I know, but what if it is her? I have
So-
to find out what happened.
finding out what happened. Still in the 2D part, and then the thing that happens with this game that defines it from other horror games, other things of its genre, there it is. You're there. It's happened. You're here, full on.
This is the place.
It's there. You're really in this game. It just... Everything in this game is there to build the tension. So it starts like this. These amazing graphics as well for a system such as this, for a console. And the PSVR, this is an amazing sight. It does so well at pulling something together that is really, really quite convincing. And there we go. So, find Mia. There's my objective. I'm not going to go too far, but look at this. It's built to kind of creep you out. I mean, this is the middle of the day, and that is a seriously creepy house. So you can't get in that way. Hello?
Shit.
No one there. We're gonna go investigate. Anybody who's ever watched any form of horror show, any horror film, seen a big house like that, not been able to get to the gate, whatever, this is the point where you should go back down the track where you came from. Yeah? Should go back down that track, get in the car, but he's got to go get his wife. So, yeah. It starts just this gentle build-up of what's gone on, you see. Sewer gators. Yeah. This is a filming tripod, that's for a video camera. Can't see too well in the windows there, but you can't see much in there. Now, if you come to this game, first of all, I will give you a bit of a word of warning, and your VR senses are up there. If you haven't got your VR legs, and even if you do have your VR legs, you may want to try the click turning first before you do this smooth motion business. Accept her gift. Yeah. If you're not creeped out yet, don't worry, you'll get more creeped out as it goes on. And this game does have the action sequences that can be quite horrific, but that's not the bit that this game does well. This game does survival horror really well. That's what this game is about. This game is a proper survival horror. It's made to give you more and more tension. And unlike when you play this game on a 2D screen, where you can just go, ah, and shy away. In VR, like this, it's there. Its presence is there all the time. It's around you. It's immersing you, it's immersing you. Immersive. Immersing you into its world. It really is sort of like dragging you down into this quite that's a person. This is where the creepy parts start. So everything starts to get creepier and creepier. And that's what this game really does do extraordinarily well. It's managed to creep you out. Like, there's some birds there, crows, and then there's this. I mean, yeah. So that's, that was dodgy. My chair went a bit funny there, and that scared me more. But then you see something like this, and you're like, yeah, that's a sick line. Of course, you're gonna... You crouch down through that rubbish. And this is just getting used to the controls of the game. And already I'm a bit... meh. It's just so well made, though. This is just so well made. Water tower in the background there. It's just... yeah. So, if you've got a PlayStation VR and you like a bit of horror, survival horror, this is one of those games that, yeah. So we've got a driver's license. One of the other things you can do with this is it does that whole thing with the controller like that. So that works. Driving license is tiny. But there you go. There's a driving license. And we're by Creepy House. Do you want to go sit in the swing? I don't think so. Yeah? You see a place like this and you know, But we're going to leave... Should we leave this one here? Or should I go on a little tiny bit further? We go on a little tiny bit further. No. We're not going to. I have got a number of parts of this already, but here you go. That's kind of the quick overview of Resident Evil 7. It's another one of these games that, well, another one of the games. It's the horror experience. You want to be petrified. It's a tension builder. It really does do the whole tension, constantly. It really is scary. If you like horror, this is one of them. This is one of the things that truly is terrifying and works brilliantly. So, yeah, this is another one of the games that I have to recommend you play in VR. Resident Evil 7 in VR, you can't not play it in VR. Simple as that, putting it out there. If you just play it on a flat screen, it's not the same. It's not the same. Not the same game in those terms, though it is the full game, and they're both the full game, playing in VR. It's so scary, but I still haven't got all the way through it. I feel chills when I come back into this game. It's that good. If you're a bit of a scaredy cat, I know getting past that fear thing is hard. But it's well worth it. Well worth it. Right. Let's move on to another game which is Standout for me, which it's a bit of a Marmite game, actually. And by a Marmite game, I think it's a love it or hate it. There's a lot of people who could disagree with me. I normally play this next game standing up. I'm going to go to two different games, actually, that we do more standing up. I have to mention the other one, although I don't think I've put my... did I put a thing for it? I haven't, but we'll get to it. The next game I'm going to mention, there has been a sequel announced for this next game. It's a VR-only title. And that is Windlands. Yes, I'm going to include Windlands on this list for the simple reason that Windlands, for me, was a fearless game. It was a very, very brave game by the developers. There's no other way of putting that. It's a seriously brave game. Sorry, real life things happening again, as always. Okay. That's fine. So, we're going to get into a bit of Windlands, and wherever I can find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I think it's that way now. Actually, there it is. So, Windlands. You normally do Windlands standing up, and one of the things they did do from the initial game is they actually added full locomotion with move supports, which makes this game outstanding. Like I say, it's a stand-up type of experience that we can do with this, because though some would probably say maybe you actually want to sit down. Now, this is very interesting to say as well. Windlands is an intense full locomotion VR game. That is what is brave about this game, and what I really love about it. It's no holds barred. It really is an intensive full motion game. It's a swinging exploration puzzle game. I can't say it any other way. It's a swinging, full motion, huge scale exploration game. And I'm going to use the move controllers. And I'm going to change that to... Okay. So. Windlands. Indeedy. And I'm going to move this that way a bit. That's going to go up there. This is going to come around here. And we're going to... Yeah. We're going to try and do this with me hopefully not falling over chair. Right, I normally get the chair and that goes in behind green screen over there. Actually, I should do that. This is the reveal. This is what happens. Goes that way. Chair goes out of the way there. Hopefully that hasn't broken too much of the magic of green screens for you. Right, so. Let's step in some of the Windlands then. No, this on charge while I'm at it. Need to find out which side is what. We'll figure that out in a moment. Oh. Can't see. What's going on? Headset deciding to do stuff. Sometimes I have to restart this because I have a Marcel M cable gaming edition, which I keep on meaning to do reviews of to show you what exactly it does for VR and things like that, though Linus Tech Tips has actually done a video on the Marcel M cable, and I find for some people it may not be worth it. For me, for VR, that's the cable to go for. The others just don't really do too well. But Linus Tech Tip, they were sort of like, yeah, this is going to be one of these ones where we go, a HDMI cable that's over $100. That's not going to be any good. That's not going to work. And then they went, actually it works. So, yeah, it does work as a cable, but you have to use it in the right way. So, if you've got any questions about that, I'll be pleased to answer them as well. But let's give this a whirl. Now, we got red, we got purple. I don't know which side is going to be what. Can't remember how to do the options. And they say options. Controls. Controller layout. We're going to change layout. So, okay. So this is going to be our right one. This is going to be our left one. Always important. I know some people may say, really, you're going to use the hand stringy things? VR, definitely. You can't see anything outside. The world is literally this world. So, yeah. Use the hand stringy things. They will save you a lot. Now it has full locomotion. We have turns. Oh, how do I cancel? So this is what we've got. We've got walk forwards on this bit here. Walk forwards, walk back. We've got a turn left, turn right, strafe left, strafe right, stop the ropes, respawn, respawn. We also have firing our hooks, and we have pause and stuff like that. So, we're just going to sort of come out this and just go main menu, game, main menu, start. And we'll do it from an empty slot. So I'm just going to do it from a normal. See, what I did before as well, actually, is I did this version. My main game is that. I think. I'm just going to put it on that. Because I haven't managed to go all the way through. So motion controllers, classic smooth turning, on. No, off. Comfort cage. I don't want no comfort cages, so those are off.
Long ago, a great civilization
Okay.
rose. Sacred crystals were discovered deep underground and brought into the light.
What I would love to be able to do with this game as well is to turn off the dots. I don't want the dots.
Were undertaken and great titans created to raise the sky cities, the Windlands.
Okay.
Yet
Blah blah
soon
blah
would
blah.
come a time of chaos. A
Chaos.
dark star from the heavens descended
Yep.
and
Yep.
ripped the world asunder.
So this is the story portion.
Titans would fall, and the crystals that power the world scattered.
Right.
Now, a new guardian has arisen, who will reunite the
I haven't done this in easy mode, so it's going to be cool to be able to hook anything. Because I've had the hard mode, and the hard mode, it's difficult. There are some that are maybe swinging experts, but I'm not one of them.
Guardian, awoken. Good, come then. There is work to do. Succeed where others have failed.
The scale of this game is what's truly amazing in this. Graphically, it has quite a simple style. I do wish I could turn these dots off. I've never managed to find the way to turn these dots off. So, developers, if you're listening or watching this back, please tell me how to turn these damn dots off, because I want rid of them. It spoils it for me. And there you go. You come out and it's this scale of things. I mean, look at it. Massive. Gigantic. I don't have hooks yet. So we've got to jump. I messed up a bit there. There's a space. Hold on. No! I'm safe. So there you go. That's kind of like one of the things, the scale, and one of the things a lot of people don't like is the motion, but it's one of the things I loved about this, that there's none of this sort of like, oh, we're going to be really slow and we're going to plod along, and it's like, yeah, here's the motion, deal with it. You could sit down and do it as well with a controller, and that may work for you, but standing up, full motion control, close there, and we need to get up there. Ah! That's nasty. And again. I need to do front to back. No! No! I will get it. There you go. The opposite direction. Puzzle solution solved.
Hooks, tools of a guardian. With these, you shall explore this broken world. These Windlands.
See? And now I can even grab everything, including the ground. See, normally when you play this, you can only grab the bushes and like special surfaces, which is both good and bad, but it's swingable. Now, I'm not too good at this. The idea is to build up motion. So you can actually just sort of like do full-on swinging. Basically. I'm not going to play for too long, but this at the moment is the small scale part. When you get to the real big scale parts, it's incredible. I need the hooks to be the stop bit. I keep on doing different things with the hooks, you see. And I keep on forgetting which way I am. This, of course, there is a campaign that I want to mention that's about getting analog sticks onto the Move controllers. That is done from some of our friends over at Fort Patrol. Brian, what's your name, dude? Sorry, I've just totally forgot the name of your channel there. Without Parole. Without Parole games, PSVR games without parole. However, it's done there now. They have petition because there has been a new headset made that's minor revisions, and they brought out a revised version of these Move controllers, which basically just swaps out the socket at the end here and puts a better battery in. But everybody who plays PlayStation, we all know that games like this with smooth motion are brilliant, and what we really want for them is some way to control the smooth motion that's more natural and is more useful than all the sets of buttons. And the solution to it is really, really simple. You put some control sticks into them. Just control sticks, that's all you need. And Sony brought out something that has a different USB connector and a different battery. What we want is ones with sticks in. So there's a petition over there on Without Parole games. So if you want to sign something like that to kind of up that presence and say to Sony, hey, this is actually what we want, then please do that. Go to Without Parole Games channel and go sign the petition and say, hey Sony, this is what we want. Okay, moving on. I'm just gonna do boom. See, I wish that I had the rope stop thing straight away. I was never so good at building up the momentum with this. I need to learn how to build the momentum up more. So doing this in easy mode may be a great help, actually. You're gonna love that.
You may be wondering who I am or where I am. Truly, I am no one, and those who we are reside nowhere. The
Wow.
voice comes from within you, Guardian.
Whoa.
Go, fulfill your destiny.
What was that? don't know what that was. There was a big banging noise. I don't know what that was. Okay. I'm presuming somebody in the other room is doing something. Scary. Scary VR moment when something in real life has happened outside of your world. Okay, so moving on. We're going that way. I need to be able to move backwards. That building of momentum thing is fun when you can grab anything. Okay, starting to see a bit more of the scale. We're still not quite there yet. Your head motion does move you a bit to the side. There's a lot of inertia in this game.
A crystal. Not all shall be so easily found.
No, not all of them shall be so easily found. You're right about that. Oh, forgot the control.
The power of these crystals shall open portals to new lands. You shall
Ooh.
find the others lost.
I haven't been down here before. Wow. Okay. So we're going to put the crystal in there, basically. Crystal's gone there. Open something up. We can just jump straight over there. Yes! You know, we're going to go through here actually. It's the first one. We'll just show you a bit of this first part. Just so you get an appreciation of the scale of this game. So, we're all the way down here. There's different areas in here where we're going to basically try to get to. So we can go explore over that way. Up over there. All the way up there. All the way up there. Now from here where I'm standing it may not look that high, but when you get up over there and up over there, it's like standing over a gigantic mountain. It's something quite breathtaking. And that's one of the really, truly outstanding things about this game. That it gives you that overwhelming sense of massiveness. And we got a tablet. These are the other things you find throughout this world, is these.
These tablets scattered through the lands contain knowledge. Take them to the Hub Temple. On the walls reside panels waiting for the histories of the past to be retold.
So there you go, you've got a story element to it, but it's very rough around the edges, and what you really get from this game is this whole explore, this go. It doesn't kind of restrict you in any way when it comes to motion. And, you know, it's kind of badass in that way, and it just means that you can just sort of take that leap. Especially on easy mode, I can just do things on the easy mode that I wouldn't have normally have done. Get places a lot quicker than I would on the hard mode that I started out with. I can find hidden spaces like this and get to them maybe a little bit quicker. We're starting to see a little bit more of the scale now. Because that's one hell of a drop. One hell of a... Oh yeah. So yeah, this is the Windlands. With its massive scale, its bravery in speed and motion, its feeling of freedom, that ability to soar, to climb, to encourage you to explore, to find, all of that. Plus there's going to be a Windlands 2, so we'll watch out for that one next year. But this is one of those outstanding titles that is a bit more Marmite for people, especially if it's the start of your VR experience. If you haven't got your VR legs, or you just don't have the stomach for the motion, I can understand you being a bit wary of this title. If it is a case where you've just come to VR and you're finding the motion a little bit much, then maybe avoid this one for a bit. But when you do get more used to it, and you do get more used to the motion, and you build up that tolerance, I encourage you to take a look at this game, because it is, quite simply speaking, stunning to be able to stand here in this virtual world at this height. And there's parts in here, I know you don't see it the same way as I'm seeing it here. There are parts in this game where the vista is just amazing, the height just hits you. So you just sort of like go, wow, that is incredible. When you get up the top of that there, though it looks quite similar height here, it really isn't. That is a lot higher. And you look out from there, and then you get up to the heights of up there, and you look out and see this world. It's an amazing panoramic view that I just can't express. I mean, whenever you've been if you've been somewhere where you've got tall mountains and up in mountains and things like that, you'll know what I mean when you say that the vista is incredible, the view is amazing. That sense of being in a world that is huge, that is what this game really truly brings to this. Is something that you don't get with many other games. But yeah, this is one of those games that truly does stand out. Right, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to another game. Another standout game for me, and for many, because it changes the game a little. It changes what we're going to do quite a bit. And I didn't make the prepare the screen that I should have done, which was very silly of me. Very, very silly. So I'm going to have to just change something quite quickly. And I think I've got it here somewhere. That's right. It's the game that I got this for. Farpoint. Now, I have to put the disc in because this is a physical copy that I've got. Means the often not removed too often Valkyrie. Valkyrie is still the game that I kind of play pretty much the most. So Valkyrie is the game that sits in my PS4 the most. As you've seen, I've got all the other games digitally, but with Valkyrie and with Farpoint here, these are the physical copies. I have some other games that are physical copies. I've got Battlezone over there, which I haven't played all the way through Battlezone. I know for some, Battlezone would be one of those standout games. For me, it wasn't one of the ones I actually went for in a big way. Farpoint, however, is for VR almost a rite of passage. It's something that you've got to do. You've got to experience Farpoint. It's as simple as that. It's the moment from going from... I was a Destiny player. I still am a Destiny player. I've been playing Destiny 2 quite a bit. But Farpoint brings something else. It puts you inside that game. You're a part of it. It's the revolutionary moment, if you like.
Stand on the Farpoint
So,
logo on the ground. To confirm tracking, touch each segment with your controller.
Let me just...
Stand on the Farpoint logo on the ground.
Now, there's camera systems in here, which is really good of what they did with it. I've only just got enough space just where I've put my camera.
To confirm tracking, touch each.
So,
To confirm tracking, touch each.
if you have a lot more space than me, you're golden. You've got everything that you need, basically. I've got very limited space, so I make do with what I've got. Let's change the title here, sorry. I've got to...
logo on the ground. Stand on the Farpoint logo on the ground.
Okay. As you can hear, it's telling me to stand on the Farpoint logo.
Touch each segment with your controller. Setup complete. Thank you.
Okay. So this is the aim controller. Now, it may not look much to you guys seeing it on the stream, but when you're in here, I often disagree with how they're supposed to say that it's really good at detecting when you put your hands on it and taking your hands off of it. But I kind of disagree with them there because I think they get that bit wrong sometimes. Right. Basically, we've got different things here. Blah, blah, blah. We've got things that we can do like that. Everything interacts. I'm just going to do a challenge. So this really does put you in the game, as it were. There we go, precision rifle. And you can look down the sights like this. It's that you can go and look down the sights, and there it is. I normally actually use my left eye. You guys are actually seeing from my right eye, so when I do that, you can see the dot that it makes. We're going to put you into one of the later levels. I mean, okay, no, actually, just in case you haven't seen this, I'm going to put you into something pretty simple. We'll try Summit. No. Remains, Summit, Ascent. Which one? I think Descent. Yeah, we're going to do Descent. There we go, confirm. Now, I can change my weapons by doing that as well. Shotgun. I can see the weapon, it's there right in my hand. And that's one of the cool things with this game. I also did like with this game its whole tracking method of you can see at different points if I do things like that, you can see the squares where it's ideal. Like I say, I don't really have an ideal amount of space here. But this is a challenge mode. And there's spiders, of course. And what am I scared of? Spiders. Just thought I'd put it out there. Yes, indeed, I am scared of spiders, and this game has loads of them. And what's more, they jump at you. Hey, get back here. Ah. Ooh. Wow. So yeah, this does really put you into this game. Grenades. He may be big. I had a bullet for him. So yeah, this game has a full story campaign sort of to it, which is not too long. It's long enough to get through. But the real thing that a lot of people liked was the co-op and these challenges. These challenges are really hard to get through. What? We've got 28 seconds. Need to get through the gate, so it's... There was a spider up above me there somewhere. It's so immediate with this gun. Everything makes sense with it. It's just so right for the game. Whoa! Come on. What's... There we go. Okay. 28 seconds. Where did he go to? Where'd he go? There he went. One minute 24. And I'm through. So yeah, this is Farpoint, and Farpoint it uses the same controller. You can use a DS4 controller, but you really want this same controller because it really does make you feel like you're a part of this game. Horrible, scary spiders and all, but I can't recommend that high enough to try and do that. It's just amazing. And Mr. Goten, I'm closing in on you, dude. I'm closing in on you, Goten. And yeah, Booker, if you're watching, I'm on the same board, but so far away. So far away. Your scores are just... Look at those scores. You got that much on me. But it gives you an idea here. So, yeah. This is Farpoint. Loads have been said about Farpoint, and yes, is one of these outstanding moments in PSVR gaming. And a lot of that is due to this controller here. Which is just... yeah. It works. It just works. It really does. Although, deciding when you're going to have your hand on it and not is maybe not the best. Would have been nice if it could sense that your hand or whatever. But still, an awesome, awesome, awesome game. That, like I say, you have to play it to believe it. It's not that it's an amazing FPS game, it's that you're in the FPS game. That's what makes this game incredible and makes it one of those must-do experiences for the PlayStation VR. So, yeah, if you can get to try this game, got to do it. Got to, because with the aim controller, this game, it is insanely good. Because it puts you in there. And the main part, like I said, is the challenges or cooperative. The cooperative stuff, you playing with someone else in here, is fantastic. You've got to do. So, there you go. Farpoint. We'll leave that one there. Okay. It's actually getting on a bit. Been on for quite a while. We've run through a load of games. I'm going to just take a bit of a hash through some of the different things that we've got here. So, there's a huge amount of games. There's more coming. Sony just put out a list yesterday of, I think it was 60 games that are due between now and the end of 2007 and the first quarter of 2018. And I know there was a couple of games that was actually missing from that list. And there's a few that I hadn't heard of, but there's 60 games still coming in that short time. And we've already got a lot. I mean, I've got quite a few. Some other games that I think are worth mentioning that I haven't mentioned. Actually, Bound. Bound is also in this list. If you want to see what the PSVR can do in terms of graphical clarity, Bound is that game. It's amazingly sharp visuals. It's a different type of platform game. Brings something different. I've got a review type thing on that as well on my YouTube. If you want to see more on Bound, definitely worth a look. It's another one of those ones that should be more in my list, but due to time, sadly, it's going to stay out for the moment. But yeah, take a look at my own review of Bound. Well worth a look, because as a game, it's stunning game for the PlayStation VR. Right, other mentions that I would like to say. Eagle Flight, very underrated, been left alone a lot, had a huge amount of potential. I did like it. Unfortunately, it holds your hand too much. God games, like Oh My Genesis here. Again, great potential. I haven't played enough of it, so I'm not going to comment too much. It's not one of my standout games, but it is very much got that sort of black and white vibe of a God game that is really great for VR. It really does work very well, so also worth a look. We've gone through Rez Infinite already. You know my thoughts on that. Go buy it. You've got to experience it. Tumble, puzzle games, Playroom. This is essential. This is a free game which has a load of little mini games, has things for if you're having a bit of a party and you want to do some VR in it. You've got people who are new to VR. The Playroom VR is an essential download. It doesn't cost anything, but it's an essential download. Trackmania has a VR mode in there, but yeah. This is another one that a lot of people see as a standout moment. Becoming Batman in Batman Arkham VR. It really is great. I haven't included it here. It's been included in many others. But yeah, Tethered, again, God game type thing. Very sweet, very engaging, quite difficult. Take a look if you like that type of game. It really is done very well, and it's Pro Patch. The Pro Patch version on that is gorgeous. PSVR Worlds, I haven't got into PSVR Worlds. There is one experience in there that everybody always raves about, which is London Heist. And I as well will say it's brilliant. It's straight up brilliant. It would be lovely to see them extend that past what it is there. There is a second game in there that I really like as well, which is a alien platformy shootery thing in a cockpit game, which I can't remember the name of, which looks really good, but a lot of people have the motion problems sometimes with that one, but it is worth a look. The other thing that's good in VR Worlds for people who are starting out is the diving experience. My grandfather recently tried the diving experience, and it was sort of like, you know, that was really cool to see. My grandfather's 89 years old. So he was sort of like, oh gosh, oh golly, oh wow, all that. Other games, if you're into social games, Werewolves Within is a funny game to play. Battlezone, Rush of Blood, here we go. Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, made by the same people who made Until Dawn. They have a new game coming out, which is based in the same universe. This is after Until Dawn. It pits you on a roller coaster ride. You use move controllers. It's a shooting, jump scare. It's scary, basically. It's the jump scares shooty game. Watch out for that one. Definitely worth a mention. Super Hypercube. If you like puzzle games, really good. You can see I'm terrible at it. From my trophies, you can tell I'm terrible at it. I just can't get past certain points in it. So it's difficult. But worth a look if you like your Tetris-style things and you want the pressure of that Tetris thing, but in a three-dimensional space where you have to look around it and make the decisions really quickly. That's worth a look. Dirt Rally we've gone on. Fruit Ninja VR, great fun if you just want to slice some fruit. We've gone through that. Psychonauts Rhombus of Ruin is after the original game. I haven't played the original game, I played this. Short experience, about an hour long. Not a standout one for me, but definitely worth a look. Unearthing Mars. Yeah. Walk away. That's all I'm saying. Not so good. Just Corex, if you like strategy, this is like a real-time strategy game, tower defense game. It has some of the sharpest visuals. It also runs natively at 120 megahertz. It's super sampled. So it has very, very simplistic graphics, but they're pin sharp. Simple as that. Hollow Ball. If you've got the room and you want a bit of a workout, this is one that will give you a workout. I haven't mentioned the other one that will give you a workout, which is Spark. Watch some of the Spark stuff that I've done in the past. I haven't got enough room really here to play Spark effectively.
Says,
hello, Neo. I'm just wrapping up and you come in. I'm just doing for a bit of a run through at the moment, so hey. But yeah, so Hollow Ball, if you've got the room and you want to sweat a bit, Hollow Ball can do that. But over Hollow Ball, if you've got the room, I'd recommend Spark more than Hollow Ball. Special Delivery, we're not going to go too much into that. Kind of funny, but there you go. Gunjack. Robinson the Journey, worth a mention because the graphics are gorgeous. Well, dang, you're right. Yeah. Dang is right. Windlands, you've already seen. You didn't, Neo. You missed Windlands. You missed it. What were you doing? You missed it. But that's one of those games that I think is a Marmite game. You either love it or you hate it. And part of that is to do with how motion-filled it is, because it really has a lot of motion in there, and not everybody can take it. So if you can take the stomach motion, it's worth investigating.
Chrissa
if you bought it early on,
I have
and then went, I can't take the motion, and you still have that in your library, go get it. Okay. Cool, dude. Yeah. Gone to film con, been. Yeah, I figured you had been to. Hopefully you enjoyed that. That sounds kind of cool. Film and Comic Con. There's a couple of game things happening today, and this is my quick review of different things. So, Windlands, moving on. VR Invaders, if you want a shooting gallery game, it's okay. Yeah, it's fun. Starblood Arena. For Starblood Arena, a lot of people really do like Starblood Arena. It's a 6 Degrees of Freedom game, so it is quite good. Has some single-player content, has multiplayer content. I'm going to say it straight out, with the multiplayer content, make sure and get on the forums, get on the communities, get some other people who you know to play it with you. Because that's where it's going to shine more. It's a multiplayer game. You want the multiplayer element.
Says, what's your most favorite?
I was asked this the other day, what's my most favourite game? And I couldn't pin my most favourite game down. Because there are too many games that have different aspects which I like. I'm not the person that really goes, this is my favourite. I'm more the person that goes, well, when it comes to driving...
Says, top 3.
Top 3. No particular order. As I was going to say, when it comes to driving, Dirt Rally VR is the one for PSVR. It's hands down. It's got the other 2 driving games beaten, and I think for my experience of sport, GT Sport, the demo this last week, I still think that Dirt Rally is going to have that beaten, just because of how the force feedback works so well, how they got that feeling right, they got the immersion right. Whereas GT Sport, they haven't got the force feedback right there. They haven't done the nuances of the road. You can't feel the wheels properly and things like that. So even in the VR sense of that, I don't think that GT Sport is going to match what Dirt Rally brings to the PSVR. Flying, hey, what can I say? It's on my background. Valkyrie Warzone. You know it works. You know it's good. It's just, wow. If you've ever had that whole thing of, you want to get in a spaceship, be shot out of a carrier, into a space battle.
Sport Rally. Combing the games now.
Valkyrie Warzone. That's the one. And obviously now, Valkyrie Warzone, you don't need... Yeah, I know, combining the games now, that would be interesting, actually, because the rally mode in GT Sport is just... no. If you want to do rally driving, Dirt Rally. And at the moment, if you want to do driving full stop on PSVR, Dirt Rally.
Neo_Chrissa says, Eve Valkyrie, what is that game?
That game. What is Eve Valkyrie Warzone? It's funny that you should ask that, Nia. Well, for a start, obviously, it's multiplayer, space-based cockpit game. It's one of the first games I showed you in this video. But you was off watching films and at a Comic-Con, so hey, this is what happens. but it's available for PS4, PC, Steam, Oculus. You can play it out of VR, in VR. Everybody plays together. You know, I get Valkyrie Warzone. You get Valkyrie Warzone. Everybody gets Valkyrie Warzone. That's all I'm saying. That's what it should be. It's the Overwatch of space fighters. It's the only space game at the moment I can truly say is a full-on, action-packed space fighter. An arcade, shooty, immersive explosion of combat. There you go. No. We'll avoid your sneaky tactics. Right, moving back on. Wayward Sky. Yeah, this deserves a mention. This is like a story-based thing. It's a nice experience. It's I haven't gone all the way through it on this account. But yeah, puzzles, platformy puzzles and things like that. Great. Statik. Mention Statik. That's one of my standout games. It's unique. It uses VR in a way that nobody else does. It's a puzzle game. I like puzzles. So yeah, good game. Race the Sun. It's a nice little experience. There is a VR mode for it. Dick Wild. Shooting. This is another game that can make you sweat, actually. You can use the aim support with this, and it's worth mentioning because it's just like £10 gallery shooter, but you really do need to move, so you need a bit of space to do it well. Otherwise, you're going to bash into stuff. So be warned on that. But definitely, if you've got a tenner and you want a game that you just pass the headset around from different people and see who can get the best score, Dick Wild is a good fun one like that. Honourable mention for Mortal Blitz. If you want that sort of, what's the name of the game? Neo, you can maybe help me out here. Arcade game, shooting, Time Crisis. I did it myself.
Says,
if you want that sort of Time Crisis feel to VR, then Mortal Blitz is kind of that feel. It's got the Time Crisis kind of duck and shoot and a little bit of movement around shooting type of game. So it's a teleport based game, but you can also move around a bit yourself. So that's good fun. It's quite cheap. Good play. It's out of one of the Chinese developers, so Chinese are starting to come along with that. Potential injury warning. Yes, potential injury warning on the dodging around bit. Farpoint, we just covered a little while ago. Star Trek Bridge Crew. Hey, if you're like your Star Trek and you want to actually see what it's like, then yeah, you gotta. But it could have been better, I'm afraid to say. Star Trek Bridge Crew, some things could have been better there. It'd be nice to expand that out a bit. Ancient Amuletta. This is an odd take on tower defense games because essentially you are the tower. You've got some crystals that you have to thing. You've got different weapons types there. It is definitely worth a mention on here. I would have done a bit more on that, but I think time-wise I'm a little bit like, So, yes, if you like, it's just a good fun game. It has some co-op play, it has some single player. Very simple concept. For the price, I think it's worth it because you'll play it again and you'll come back to it. It also has the loading screen, the choosing screen, the main menu is one of the most calm spaces in VR. It's just like,
you could be there all day otherwise.
Nice, relax, meditate, place. So I have popped in there when I was a bit stressed actually before and just come, and then started shooting things. As you do in VR. So, yeah, Ancient Amuletter, definitely worth a mention. It's low price. It's got some good fun. It's really just a fun game. If you like puzzles and solving things and lateral thinking, fantastic contraption. Build stuff. Yay. It's quite cheap and it can take up huge amount of time, which is why only 4% is progressed on my that way. Why it's only got 4% progress, but yeah. I had fun with it. Super Hot really should be one of those ones that makes the standout list because it's super hot. Space-wise, again, this is one where you want a bit more space. I can just about manage to play Super Hot VR in the space they've got. Just.
Neil_Chrissa.
So if you've got a good playing space,
thanks to you.
This is one of those games, definitely, yeah. Yeah. Super Hot is good. It can be quite a workout as well, but you need the space. You need to have that space. It is a standout game. I haven't done it today because I wanted to do a few different games, and that meant a multi-role space. And what I normally do is I sometimes move the camera where it is over there, gets moved up onto the ceiling right the way over there, so that I've got more space that way, so I can move a bit better and it can track me properly. But yeah, Super Hot VR, it's a must-buy, really. It's one of those experiences that is unique. It will make you feel like an action star in fast motion, slow motion, whatever motion. You're going to be moving, you're going to be sweating, you're going to have a good time, basically. Tiny Tracks. I've got a review of Tiny Tracks on my YouTube, so check out the review. It's a sweet little title, and it's really quite hard. Hence 33%. I was having some problems with some of the track times. It's a lot like a rhythm game with Scalextrics. If you ever imagined the boxes from the sort of like Scalextrics sets that would go up walls and do things in amazing places, and you get the box out and you put the Scalextric set together and you look at it and it's like, well, that's just some plastic that's going around the wall or something. That's not what Tiny Tracks is. Tiny Tracks just literally sells itself as the most amazing Scalextric sets you have ever seen, with the full surroundings and the music and the sound to go with it and everything, and it becomes a rhythm game, and it's hard work to actually do that well. And it's got a multiplayer and it's got the single player, and really good game. Very inexpensive, very easy to pick up and try first of all. Will take a lot to master. Future Labs games, they tend to be that intensive. You've got to concentrate, you've got to work into it. So, yeah. Tiny Tracks is a definite recommended buy for me, just for that. Welcome to the channel. If you just joined, it's right near the end, but hey, going to finish a couple more. Volume no. Lost Bear, we've already mentioned. You can see some play from that earlier in the video. Polymus, I'm going to mention this one as a mention because it's definitely worth mentioning. This is a very odd game, and I have to give you a severe warning about this game. If you have any problems with epilepsy, photosensitivity, motion sickness, then do not go for this game. If you're okay with that, be prepared. This game is stupid fast, stupid intense, and is going to turn your brain inside out in a way that you cannot possibly imagine. Yeah, only 3% of trophies. I only picked this up the other week when it was on sale. I only picked this up the other week when it was on sale, so I had a hard time with it. I actually had a hard time with this one. It's mind-bending. That's all I'm saying. Plus, you can see how many games I've got, which when I get to the end of the games, I'll just do a quick reverse over all of the games I've got, so you can see why there's things like only 3% happening, when I also play things like Destiny, and I also play some other games as well. So, there's some of these games where there's going to be a little less completion. And I haven't done a review on that because it's... wow. Mini golf, this is going to be ridiculously low, only 14% as well, so yeah. Infinite mini golf, if you like mini golf, well, it's available there, it's in VR,
that game called
it has really nice
Valkyrie.
graphics. That's a really good point on it. It has really, really nice graphics. And one of the things for this is, if you're a fan of Tim Burton animations, there is in there a level which is basically like stepping into The Nightmare Before Christmas, and a combination with some other Tim Burton stop-motion animation films. So, that game called Eve Valkyrie, we'll see. You can see my completion rate of Eve Valkyrie in a minute. I'll take you back over and you can see my completion rate of Eve Valkyrie, okay? It's not 100%. I'll give you that. End Space, another space game, cockpit game. I'm still going back through this. I did get this to do some reviews, and I will put out a review. It's a labour of love for the company that developed it, which is basically two brothers. They have got one guy who's a 3D artist who did the interior cockpits out. It looks okay, but it's got some drawbacks at the moment. It's not like a Valkyrie, it's more of the single-player campaign-based game. When you get into it, first of all, it has some bits that need more polish and more work, and it needs some more work overall. Knowing that I played this originally on the Gear VR, and they moved it on and added to it and added to it and added to it to the point where it's got to where it got, is great. It shows the passion that they have for the game and how they progressed it. They brought it to PSVR. That's increased its shine and polish a lot, but it still needs more, and I trust the developers will keep going with that. Honourable mention, Bloody Zombies. This is a great game. This is a fantastic game. Unfortunately, though, I can't show you exactly why it's so good, because when you play this from a VR player, what's shown on the screen is actually the 2D element of the game. Because Bloody Zombies is a side-scrolling bash 'em up in VR. It's a 2D side-scrolling bash 'em up in VR. And that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. But it works brilliantly in VR. If you like 2D scroll and bash 'em ups, you know, Streets of Rage, Final Fight type games, those classics, the big classics, this is the real deal. This game is seriously hard. I'm talking seriously hard. It has couch co-op. It has online co-op, single player, VR, non-VR. You both play together. The VR player, when you look down places and stuff, you get to see so many different things. It's got a great style to it in VR. Good fun out of VR as well. Yes, it's great. It's one of those games that I wish when you bought it,
I was playing Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes with a friend last night. It was good fun.
Yeah, I haven't got that game because I know that when I've shown people VR, it's tended to be a smaller thing. So I hadn't got that because most of my online gaming tends to be, well, online gaming rather than party-based in the room, which Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is one of those games, a good thing for friends for a party. It's a party game, yeah. It's one of those other takes on VR that people don't expect, but yeah, I can say that. Bloody Zombies, though, if you like your old school bash 'em ups, this game has some real depth to it. It's a really hard game as well at the same time, so the multiplayer is definitely needed. It's got the whole co-ops thing down. From non-VR to VR, to couch co-op, to online co-op. It's got it all there, with a progression system, with special moves, with this, with that. Honestly, it's a best of breed for the bash 'em ups. So, there I said it. I think it's actually better than Final Fight, which I considered to be the best of the brawlers. And, yeah, it beats that. Rigs, that's the first game in this video. So go back to the beginning, watch the whole video, and you'll find out what I like about Rigs. This is the game, when I saw it, I went, okay, I'm getting a PlayStation VR. So there you go. 85% on that one, by the way, Neo. Yeah, 85%. It's just the big shame, obviously, with this game was that they closed the studio that built it, which is a crying shame, because there's so many things that just needed that little bit of extra time. That about 4 weeks, I think it was, or 8 weeks, something like that, and the game would have been finished out to where you'd go, that is a properly finished game. But for visuals, for gameplay, for everything like that, this game has got all the spit and polish, the shine. It's got the gameplay mechanics. It's got the whole works.
So Rigs is part of the reason you are doing this stream now.
Your monthly subscription to PS Plus, it's free to download. Grab it now. If you're planning on getting a PSVR, grab it now. Because you'll want to play it. Yes. Yes. Rigs is indeed part of the reason why I'm doing this stream now. If I didn't see Rigs, first of all, I wouldn't have gone and bought a Gear VR to get ready for VR. So I got a Gear VR before I got the PlayStation VR to make sure that I could handle VR properly. And to see what the more modern VR was like, with a little, with less expense. And I found that I enjoyed Gear VR, so Rigs just went, yep, getting it. And then after I saw Rigs and had made the decision to buy a PSVR before it came out, because I pre-ordered, obviously, to make sure that I got mine on the day. I think it was about the week after. No, I didn't see Valkyrie until the week before the PlayStation VR came out. I didn't see that. And then I saw Valkyrie that week, and I was just like, wow. Yes, please. I can't wait for this thing even more. Right, Spark. I've got a problem in the amount of space that I have to play Spark. Yeah, that's 80%. Yeah. I played a hell of it, a lot of it, not enough of it. But, yeah, I want to play more Spark, but I honestly don't have the room. I would end up injuring myself with the amount of space that I've got if I'm not uber careful. So, yeah.
_Chrissa.
Smashbox Arena. This was on sale the other week. Yeah. Yeah. I'll get into that at the moment. So I'm yet to play this, and I will start playing it. Right, just so you get the idea of how many games I've got, I'm going to wrap this up. So yeah, there's all the games, all of the games that I've got. And just so you're, in case you're wondering there, Neo, 98%. Enough said. Right, but leaving on that. So, if you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, please, well, first of all, leave a like if you like the video.
Chrissa
You can put a dislike if you don't, but I'll be sad.
What are you missing?
But please subscribe with the button that's that way. And there's a video up there, and there's a video up there. Enjoy!